Hello, this is Ashee from Crafting with Ashee and welcome to this video. And let me show you the project we're making today. This is it. It's this little sandwich style box. If I take off the ribbon here at the top, you can see it opens out like that, and you can put your little treat in there and then just close it back up again, and then you have this little piece of ribbon. This ribbon here is just jade. We're going to do a different colourway to this, so let me just put this ribbon back through here and just feed it through like that. So this here, the colourway is Bumblebee, is this yellow, and this paper is the Sweet Symmetry, and then this cardstock here is, I don't know if you can see the green there, it's just jade. We're going to do a different, as a different colourway. So I've got Night Navy in my scoreboard here, and this measures 4 inches wide by the full length of an A4 sheet, which is 11 3/4 inches. So what I'm going to do is do some scoring. So here on this long edge I'm going to score at 1/2 inch all the way down, and then I'm just going to twist around because I find it easier to do it this way on this side. 1/2 inch all the way down like that. Now we're going to put it on the long side, and we're going to score at 3/4 inch, 5 inches, 8 inches and 11 inches. So 3/4 inch, 5 inch, 8 inches and 11 inches. Okay, and then I have a piece here of another piece of Night of Navy, and this measures 4 by 4, and we're just going to score 1/2 inch here on every side. So last one here, just like that. Let me get rid of that. Just trying to find somewhere to stick my scoring tool, I don't want to fall over. I'm going to bring my trimmer in, and this piece that's 4 by 4 we are going to cut point to point, so from this point to that point. So just line it up in your trimmer, really simple to do, and just line it up and cut it in half, just like that. Now this piece here, I'm going to show you. There's 3 sections. There's a longer section to the right hand side. You've got a small little tab here, then your long section, and then you've got 2 more squares and a little tab. So here, so you've got small tab, long piece. You're going to cut up to that little 1/2 inch score line, just like that. Turn it around. So I don't know if you can see on the camera, yeah you can. You're going to come along to here, basically in the middle, and you're just going to cut up to that score line. Okay, so if you do it with this to the side, you see, just up to that score line. And now we're going to remove this whole tab along here and this whole 1/2 inch tab along here. Now I'm going to do this with my trimmer because I find it easier. So I'm just going to and then I've got a little piece left there. So now you can see we've just removed that section there. And we're going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. Okay, just like that. Okay, so now remove our trimmer, and we're going to fold on all of these score lines. Now these little 1/2 inch tabs at the end here, I'm going to fold both ways because you want a really good score line there. And then whoopsie daisy. And then this last one here, we've got a tiny bit more cutting to do, but we're nearly finished. We're going to cut out this little rectangle here. Sometimes it's easier to show than to explain with words. And you're just cutting out this little square here, so it's where this score line and the score line meet. You're just cutting that piece out there. And again, up to that score line, and up to that score line again, just like that. Now here, so we've got just this little flap here, it's all that's left of that 1/2 inch. So you've got these two smaller flaps here, and this one here. We're going to cut quite a harsh mitre like that, and you might need to come back and do even more later on, but we'll see. For now, that's what we're going to do. Okay, so that's all the cutting on that piece here, so set that aside. Bring in our 2 triangles, and now, first comes first, we're just going to fold on these 1/2 inch score lines. So let's just quickly do that. And then we're just going to take the bulk out of the corners, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So you see here where your score lines bisect, you're just going to cut across like that. Take the bulk out of that corner, and that just makes it easier to fold. Now if you fold this across, you'll see this piece is going to stick out. So you just want to cut like this, fold this one in, this piece sticks out, and then you're left with just this little corner piece. And do the same on the other piece, so where the 2 things bisect, you're going to do that. And I'm just going to take a little bit more out than I did, like that, and then like that. Okay, so let's get rid of all these bits, and then we can start the fun bit of decorating. Okay, so the designer sheet paper I'm using this time is still the Sweet Symmetry, but it's a different piece. So you could also cut a window in this and put some window sheet in. That will also look really cool. Let me show you how this thing is going to actually put together. So you're going to have this coming up like this to start to make your window, your sandwich box. So you want this to be the right way round. Doesn't really matter, but it's good to be the right way round. I don't think there really is on this thing there really isn't a direction to the pattern. It could go either way, but if there is on your paper, just to be aware of that. Okay, so that piece is down. Set that aside. We're going to put some designer series paper on our corner pieces. Now I've not measured this because I want to use up this little scrap. The other way to do it is to cut a piece of designer series paper at 3 inches by 3.5 inches by, no, start again. A designer series paper at 3/4 of an inch times 3/4 of an inch, and then cut it across point to point like we did the Night of Navy, and that will give you the right pieces here. But I want to use up the scrap because I'm being frugal. So all I'm going to do is measure and mark with my pencil that I wanted to cut here to that point there, and then, yep, you guessed it, the trimmer's coming back. See how useful a good trimmer is, how important it is. And you can see how much I use that, and as I said, blades are still going beautifully strong. So that piece is going to go for that one there. Now let's measure piece here. and I want it to go to there. Just measuring with a pencil. It doesn't have to be exact. This is not a test. Your eye sometimes, to be honest, is a better gauge of measurement than a ruler. It's amazing how well we can tell just from looking at something whether it's straight or not without even needing a ruler. So trust your eye sometimes. Okay, so that's going to go in there. So let's stick this down. Okay. We've got that piece. And then this piece, and I've got, that's what I like about snail. If I get it onto something, you can just rub it off. Makes it very useful if I make a boo-boo, and I do tend to get adhesive everywhere, so it's a useful feature for me. Okay, so those are our pieces decorated. Now we need to put some strong adhesive on this. So I'm going to use some tear and tape, which is here, find the end, and we're just going to put it on these little 1/2 inch tabs. So just get this down. Okay, lovely. And where's my bone folder? Disappeared too. I don't have a clue. I don't know how you can lose things sometimes. Oh, here it is. They just seem to migrate. Got a mind of their own. Give your tear and tape a little bit of a burnish. It'll help it stick better. So now we're going to take the backings off one side. I mean, these are going to be our sides. So if you look at your piece of paper now, you've got this, this, and it's going to attach to this middle piece here. And you just want to get everything, take your time to get all the score lines lined up. So you're going to line the bottom up so it's nice and straight, just like that. And then you're going to bring this side to this side to make this wall, just like that. Okay, and if you want, you can just go in with your bone fold or your finger and give it a good press down. And we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. Let's get rid of these backings, and as I said, we're going to do exactly the same here. And we just want to line it up with our base so everything is perpendicular. Just like that, and then lining, bringing this up to meet this side to make the wall, just like when you make a box. Okay, and then these bits will fold into your bag. Now I can see I'm going to need to just mitre here at the top to get this to a much better fit, like that, as you can see. And then I'm also going to, and I should have done this before, but no, I don't think I will this time. You can round the edges on the top and the bottom, but I don't think I'll bother. And then you're just going to fit that in, and it's going to come together just like that. And then I've got a hole punch here. Okay, so I'm just going to, this is a crocodile, so it'll go through both layers of cardstock perfectly, just like that. And this time I'm going to use some of this bumblebee trim, and this is the gingham bumblebee trim. So do the same thing. We're just gonna get our two ends together, feed it through our box, just like that. Now I'm just going to neaten the ends. You could use more or less ribbon depending on what you want, but I'm just going to stick with that. And that is your basic sandwich box made. What do you think? Really nifty, isn't it? Of course you could cover the back here as well if you wanted to, but there you go. So now we're going to do a little bit of stamping. So I'm going to bring in a scrap piece of basic white, Peaceful Moment stamp set. Last time I used the sentiment that said happy birthday. This time I'm going to try and use thank you. Hopefully it'll fit in my punch. Okay, we're going to just plonk this down. Night of Navy ink, so everything matches. Close that up. I have a scrap here of the Night of Navy cardstock, and we're going to punch a piece out. Now this is the Label Me Fancy punch. Okay, and then we're going to see if we can make this work. And I think it's just going to fit by the skin of its chinny chin chin, which is great. Get rid of all these bits, and then I'm going to cut this thing in half, this Night of Navy piece in half, as you saw. So, and I'm going to use some Tombow, and I'm going to put a little bit on either end here, and we're going to use this to mat our piece. So just like that, and on this side try and get them sort of even if you can, just like that. Okay, and then I'm going to use some dimensionals on the back here, and I've got I'm going to just use, I think, one of these, just one this time. I'm just going to put it there, and then take the backings off dimensionals, bring back our box, and I'm just going to put this, I think, like that. So there you go. Two sandwich boxes. Aren't they cute? So let me know which colour do you prefer, the Bumblebee Yellow or the Night of Navy. I hope you did enjoy the project. If you did, I'd be grateful if you could give it a thumbs up so YouTube know. And if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing to my videos. If you wanted more information about this project, the measurements, etc., it'll all be on the blog post on my website, and the links to that and all my social media links are in the description box below. That includes a link to my Facebook group where we actually make projects like this in a monthly online Facebook card club. So do come and check us out. So thank you again, and until next time, enjoy being creative. Bye!